you can apply that syntax or rather the knowledge to do something else apart from what you have been taught. So and that's why I told you that we will do a simple project. That is next week. You know that next week will be the last week for the whole course. So on Thursday, we will demonstrate a simple project. We do it together. After that, you will be good to go. So after that, you will be good to go. So let me open the course. The course for day 5. So ikifunguka, I will start marking your project. I will start marking your project, and I think everything will be good. So what we do in programming language, I can frame a question, then you can apply that particular knowledge, as in programming language. What we mark is not actually the answer. So what we mark is the syntax, or rather how you have applied the required knowledge. You can apply a certain knowledge in more than one dimension. In more than one dimension. So today is on day 85, and this is what I want us to do. We have some consi here, so we will just go through them. So we have something that we call data frame. A data frame in R, or rather the definition of a data frame is very simple. It's just a list of vectors which are of equal length. Which are of equal length. A matrix contains only one type of data, while a data frame accepts different data types. So for example, in data frames, the type of data frames that we will be creating here today, you will notice that the type of data stored in that particular storage, it accepts different data types. It can accept the numbers, it can accept the characters, factors, the Boolean values, and all those things. But now, how do we create this data frame? For example, we were creating a table. We were creating a simple table, and we used the insert command. To do what? To insert some values in our tables. Now, we can create a data frame. Which pops out data in table form. And we use the function called the data.frame. Then we open and close the bracket. So anything that we write inside those braces or inside the brackets will be forming our data frame, will be forming the part of our data frame. So we can create a data frame and name the columns. Remember the syntax that we used to label or to name columns in our day 4, the name function, and that's the same function that we will be using to rename these particular entries. Also, so we can create a data frame in R for our first data set. For example, by combining the 4 variables. So this is just an example. 4 variables of the same length. 4 variables of the same length. For example, when we create vectors, we have vector A. Check. We have vector A, which stores what? Which stores numeric values. That is, we have 7, we have 4, 7, 32, and 16. This, remember, we are forming a data frame with columns which has the same number of entries. Which is the same number of entries. Okay, before we proceed, have you understood what we mean by a data frame? I want to hear from you. Have you understood what we mean by data frame? I want to hear from you. Where are others? Claire, where are others?
They are still coming.
So, have you understood what you mean by a data frame?
Yes.
Okay. Mary, I want to hear your voice.
Yes.
Have you understood what you mean by data frame?
I've just joined when you were continuing.
Okay.
But my understanding of a data frame is a table, something like that.
Okay, very good, very good. You, Mr. Patrick Sami.
Yes.
Unapata what we mean by data frame, sindio? So that when we will start creating, hautakuwa na shida, sindio?
Yes.
Okay, I think now we can proceed. Okay, now we want to create a data frame which stores all these values. Remember, here we have vectors from A to D. We have vectors from A to D. So this is the data frame. These are the vectors that we are going to use to form our data frame here. For example, when we execute the first command here, we can see it as executed here na imesaviwa hapa. Sawa. Imesaviwa hapa. You execute the second vector. What do we have on second vector? So as revision, why are we putting these values inside here? Who can tell us? Why are we using the single quotes, the single E alama? Why are we using them inside here? I want to hear from you. Ili tuone what is happening. I want to pick random. And Dorcas, why are we using these opening and closing marks? So that our B, the values that are forming vector B can be inside. Who can tell us the reason? Any idea?
String.
Yes?
They are string.
They are strings. Yeah. So msisahau na vitu simple hivi. Sawa. So these are strings. Sawa. These are just strings. And let's execute them. You just click on run, then you insert here. So when you are running a code, remember hii line ina blink. It can either be huku mbele ama huku nyuma. Sawa. It can be somewhere as far as iko kwa hiyo line. Sawa. What is the type of data that is used to form a vector C? Ladies in the house. Ladies, hii ni data type gani? Yenye iko na true false. This is the C for the C vector. Boolean, no.
Can we say it's logical?
Actually, that is the answer. Sindio? Yeah. Actually, that is the answer. So these are logical data. These are logical. Actually, they are not data. They are operators. Sindio? These are logical operators. So these are logical operators. So you run them. Yes, ukirani lazima uone hapa kwa the execution folder, the execution output lazima utaona imesaviwa hapa sawa sawa. So what is remaining is the number D. These are, then you run number D. Yes. From there now, you can join.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You said the data type is logical what?
Logical operators. These are logical operators.
Why not Boolean?
Boolean.
Yes.
What are Boolean data?
Use true or false.
It uses true or false. Actually, it can also be a Boolean. You can ask, but now, it cannot be Boolean until you specify. For example, I can have a house, for example, a cow and a hen. Then I assign one 0, the other one 1. So that type of data, it will, for example, happen. So get the point here. I can change the data type here, for example. I can change the data type here. For example, I say that, check here keenly. I say that vector T is equal to, or a cow. Let's say cow is equal to 1. Is equal to 1. Then I run my command, for example. Kwa the created data, I insert cow. Check. I insert cow. Let me check. Yes, from that point. So when we execute this point here, okay, now here cow is not a string, is not character, is not in character, but it has changed to the Boolean because you have assigned letter 1. For example, and I assigned the other one is cat. I assigned cat 2. I assigned my cat 2. So when I'm doing my coding, a serious coding, you will notice that this is 0. You'll notice that I will not be using cow or cat. I will be using either. I may be using 1 or 0. I may be using 1 or 0. So that will change the type of data here from character to Boolean. But now here, these are a logical function. These are a logical function, and it can be a Boolean. Yeah. So from, remember we have the functions and the data type. So we have functions and data type. That is
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So from there, let's continue. Now let's form the data frame. Now remember the syntax is data.frame, then inside what you insert inside the bracket is what will be used to form that particular that particular data frame, I mean. So we have formed a vector called here created data. Created data is just you can specify anything. It cannot be only created data. It can be, let's say, my data or my data frame is equal to remember this sign here. This is the same as equal sign. So this is the same as equal sign is equal to data.frame abcd. So what I'm doing, I'm using this function called data frame to form a data of different vectors, or rather to form a data frame from different vectors that we have explained here and executed them. So that when I run my command, you will see here we have executed that command. Then from there, okay, before we continue, what can I do to see the data frame that I have created? Yes, I have executed here, and now I may execute. So how do I call it back? Ili nitolea the output here. Ladies in the house, how do we return it? How do we return data, or how do we return the output from a function? How do we return output from a function? Mr. Kabila, do you have any idea? Scholar.
But I mean, you call it the variable.
The variable, see there.
Yeah.
So what do we write to call that function?
Right. Created hiyo kitu data. Created underscore data.
Yes, near to see there. That is it. Hivyo tu ndivyo tunafanya, hakuna vitu ngumu. So I have executed the command. Yes, unaiona hapa. So our command is correct, so we don't have any error. So we call the created what? Created underscore data. Then we execute that command. What do you see here? We have the data frame. We have the data frame. We have the data frame. So we have a data frame from vector A, B, C, and D. Remember, you can change this type of variables, not the type, the name of variables. You can change them. See there. But now, how do we change them? We use the name function. See there. We use the name function. Let's see how we use it. Let's see how we use it. The function name will be used here to completely alter the column names in our data frame. So names of created data. Names of created data. Remember, what you are renaming are these values A, B, C, and D. A, B, C, and D from this part here. So when you use name function, you click on name, then function. You are applying this particular function to these entries here from A, B, C, and D. A, B, C, and D. So then from there, you specify the name of the data frame that you want to rename the columns. So we want to rename the created data. Check the syntax. Names, then in bracket created data is equal to, we use the save function to store that particular entries or those particular names, then you execute them. So remember there, these are the character data types. That's why we are using this what? That's why we are using these quotations. So then you execute the command peacefully. Then from there you can call the creating data to see whether the values on A, B, C, and D have changed. So yes. So we have ID, well, store, values. These numbers, or rather these characters, they have replaced. They have replaced what? They have replaced these columns, the column names. So these column names. From there you can check the data types and the columns. I want us we check on something we call the str function. str. So what do you understand by str? str will just be used in specifying the data type per column. So the str, it will display the structures on the R object. So it will display the structure or print the structures. Remember, we are doing all these operations on data count, the creating the data, or data count, the creating data. So this is a function, and when we execute it, you can see we have explained the data here. We have explained the data that we have used in creating the data frame. So what do you get? We have 4 observations of 4 variables. We have an ID variable. It has these numbers. We have when this code is character. It is formed by character data types. And we have stores. These are logical, true, false. And we have values, which are numbers. So do you have any question up to that point before we check on the slices? Do you have any question? Kabila, see, we are diving together, senior.
Yes, we are together.
Okay, scholar, hatuja kusikia for long. Are you with us?
Yes.
Unafuatilia na you are revising, senior.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, at least after next week, you can do ABCD in this language. So that is the main objective of you being in this class. Okay, let's do something we call the slice. Let's do the slice. So under slicing the data frame, one may tend to work only with a specific section of the data frame. So the syntax of slicing the data is very simple and straightforward. Let's see how we slice those data. I remember from was it day 4 or day 3? The use of closed brackets, and the use of the dollar signs. That's what we are going to apply here. For example, when you click on this is our created data, or this is the data frame. When you slice from 1 to 2 and 1 to 5, for example, we can slice entries indirect. So you can delete the first one. Let's see. Yes, you can slice the first two. When you slice from 1 to 2, you will be displaying the first and second words. The first and second column. The first column and second column. So when you slice from 2 to 3, what do you get? When you slice from 2 to 3, what do you get? You get the second, specifically the second and the third column. See the second and third column. What do you get when you return 2? You get only the second column under that particular data frame. See there? So you can agree with me that the use of closed brackets, or rather the closed bracket, is of greatest importance as far as this language is concerned. So yes. From there you can add a column to a data frame. For example, imagine that you formed this particular data frame here, for example this one here, and you noticed that you didn't include a specific column here. So you can add that particular column and add it with, you can add it with its values of the data. So for example, suppose we want to add something that we call a quantity. Suppose we want to add quantity. For example, when you execute this command here, we have a vector count quantity. You can call it back and see whether you have it. So quantity. So you can have, we have quantity of values 34, 90, 83, and 56 as they are here. Now you can add this quantity entry using the $sign. Remember, we used $sign last week to specify or to check on a sub entries or subgroups of different data. So for example, when you click on creating data, then you insert the $sign, all values of the created data will pop out even before you write them. So even before you write them. But now you can hand one. For example, when I call the, let's say, quantity, for example, check here. When we have created data, then you insert the $sign, you can see everything will pop out here. So we want to add something that we call quantity. So when you execute this command, it will not be, the output will not be executed because our compiler does not understand what a quantity is unless we tell the compiler that the quantity is equal to this. For example, when you run this command, expect to get an error. We have null. We have nothing that is called quantity under that, under the created data. So you specify this quantity is equal to what? Is equal to the data frame that, or rather a vector is equal to a vector that is called quantity. Now, my compiler understands only this part for now. It does not understand this part because this part is empty. We don't have this quantity, entry, and created data. But my compiler understands we have a quantity. We have a quantity here. We have a quantity here. So when you assign this quantity to these values here, then we will have the quantity column inserted in our data frame. You execute it, then you call the created data. So you can see we have what? We have the quantity. We have the quantity. Now you can call that quantity direct from now the created what? The created data. So from now the created data. You can see we have it now here. We have it here. So when you click it and execute the command, what do you get? You'll just get the values of the created quantity. You'll get the values of the created quantity. So that is it. Mary, can you now add a specific column to a data frame? Phoebe, Fairly, hatujasikia sauti yako. I think now you can add a column in a data frame. See there?
Yes.
Very good. So the project for this week, expect to apply the knowledge that you are grabbing now to answer it. So you will be just required to form a data frame, or I give you a screenshot of specific data, specific table, then I tell you to write a code, write a data frame that will give out this type of what? This type of table. Unanipata? Yeah, that is it. So from there I think we can continue. I can see we are now living in the same boat. We are in the same boat. Note that the number of elements in a vector has to be equal to the number of elements in the data frame. For example, you cannot insert values 5 value with 5 records. You will get an error. I think you can do that at your own time. Okay. Yes, selecting a column from a data frame. That's what I was talking of. You use what? You use the $sign. You just use the $sign. For example, creating the data. From creating data, what do? You come up with the column using the $sign. Even before you execute that command, you will notice, even before you write the command, you will notice that those values, they are coming out direct. Even before you click on them, even before you write them. Now let's see. We have the created data, so this command will display what? Will display only the ID values. The other one will store only the store values, the values on the store. We have the true, false. Yeah, these are the logical data. We have the values and the values. We have all the values under and that particular values. Then from there we have the quantity that we have inserted. So we use what? We use the dollar sign. We use the dollar sign. Or else, what do we use? Let's see. Suppose we want to use the closed bracket, for example. So creating the data, I choose the first entry. So I choose the first entry. Will I get the same answer? Yes. From there you choose the second one. Nataka mkuwe mnafanya hivi in your own machines. So this is the second one. So from there we can check for this dand value or the dand column. Then you execute, we have those values there. From there we have what? We have the fourth one. Yes, that's the fourth one. So you can call the data in column form like this or in vector form using this.
When excuse me,
Yes.
when you use the dollar sign, the data is being displayed row-wise.
In vector form.
Yes.
Yes.
When you use 1, 2, or 3 in the
Closed bracket.
in the closed brackets, then
Yeah.
the data comes column-wise.
Yes.
Is that the same data we are looking at?
Yes.
Is the output the same?
Okay. Outputs are the same. For example, when let's run the fourth one here. So let's run the fourth one here using the dollar sign and using the closed bracket. For example, when we call that one, when we call these values, let's see. So these are the values for quantity. Let's run the one here. Are they the same?
They don't look like.
Let me call the data first. Yes. ID 473260. 473260. Yes, they are the same there. Out of here. 473260. 473260. I think they are the same. The first one is displaying the same. See that?
Yes, they're the same for all of them.
They are the same.
Maybe same data, different formats.
Yeah, they are just in different formats. So this is the true false. Therefore, the second entry. Is it the second or land entry? Yes, true false. Let's check for the fourth one. I think the fourth one is displaying some error. That's some error. 34, 90, 83, and 56. 34, 90, 83, 56. I think we have a problem, huh?
Quantity is in column 5.
Quantity. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. This one is in column 5. Yes, let's see. Yeah. Actually, it's on column 5. I think that's the same. So this one, the dollar sign will display the data in a vector format. And you remember how you can tell this data is in vector form? You check on this part here. If a certain number is inside this closed bracket, you know that the data has been displayed in a vector format. So for example, here what do we have? We have all this data displayed in the first what? The first row of a vector. The first row of a vector. That is it. Let's check on subsetting. Let's check on subsetting a data frame. So in this previous section we have selected an entire column, for example, without condition. So now, is it possible to subset based on whether or not a certain condition was true or a certain condition is met? Yes, it is possible. It is possible. For example, we want to return only the items with the quantity above 60. With the quantity above 60. We have the quantity here. We have 34, 90, 83, and 56. Now we use a function called subsetting. We use a function called subsetting. The syntax is very simple. You write the subset, then from there what you are writing inside the bracket is the data, and the value that you want to subset, and the value that you want to subset. For example, this is this is a subset of subsetting value and a value entry. So this one here, these values here, not for quantity. So not for quantity. But now, so that we don't confuse ourselves, let's say quantity greater than 60. Then you can run the command and see, yes, we have returned these values here. So we have returned these values here. You remember in SQL we were returning some values with the point, for example, greater than 5,000. So here we have done for the quantity. You can do for what? You can do for values. For example, let's see, for values greater than 10. Let's see what we will get. Values greater than 10. Let's see. Yes, you can see we have values here greater than 10. And you can return a specific entry. For example, I want to return a value. Do we have 10? I think we don't have 10. So here I'm expecting to get an error. Yes. Let's say we want to return 11. Let's see. Values. Oh yeah. Let's see. Is this correct actually? I think no. Oh, I have
What if we try to use double equal signs?
double equal sign. Let's see. Yes, I think it's executing. So no. Yeah, it is executing with the double equal sign. You can return a store where store is true, where store is equal to true. Yes, you can see we have to do. Now, I have a question for you. why is my compiler accepting T instead of true? Instead of the whole name. True. What do you think? I want to hear from you. Mr. Benson, what is the difference between T and true in R?
I honestly don't think there's any difference as such. I think it's just maybe it's accepted data in the program itself that true and T represent each other.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
In fact, that's the correct answer. So there's no difference between true and T. But T must be in capital letter. And for false, we use F, and F must be in capital letter. F must be in capital letter. That is it. Now, from that point, we can continue. So you can demonstrate more examples using that particular data frame. You can demonstrate them at your own time.
Can we use a combination or other logical operators like and?
Let's see. Let's try. So before we come to install these packages, so today actually is the day that we will start installing the packages. So we have the created data, we have it there. From there now, I want to return where the quantity is greater than and which sign do we use for and before we continue? Which sign do we use in and? Set this one here, and the values greater than 10. Do we have something like that? Let's see. Quantity greater than 60. Yes, quantity greater than 60. Mr. Benson, and tulikuwa tunatumia which function?
Most of the time, figure it out.
Pardon? Yes?
I said, unfortunately, I'm also trying to figure it out at the moment.
Was it on day 1? Day 2? Tupate. Nikikumbuka nitawaambia as we continue, si ndio? Ili tusisimame pahali moja, because I can see we have a lot of things to do. Let's see. So nikipata hiyo and nitawaambia, si ndio? Nitawaambia the and function yenye tunapaswa kutumia hapa ilikuwa under operators, if I'm not wrong. So we will do it. I will inform you before we end the lesson. Now we can now start to use RStudio in your machines. We will be reading data from Excel to R, because you notice that the most basic storage facility for data is the Excel. See, it's common. Anybody can store data in Excel, even if you didn't go to secondary school. So everybody understands Excel. Now, from Excel, you can take you can transfer data from Excel to R. But you must use what? You must use a certain package that links. Now, before we continue, a package, in the Excel package here, will be connecting R files with the Excel files. Ni kama, what can I say? It's like a ladder. Ni kama daraja. From I want to link R is on this part, the Excel is on the other side. So I'm using read Excel now to connect the two. So you can install the package by commanding the compiler to install it directly using the install.packages commands. Then you specify the name of that particular package. For example, install .packages. Then what are you installing? I'm installing read XL package. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes, Miss Kabila.
Nataka kusumbua kiasi.
Okay.
Hebu rudi line 83, ni vile uko na different lines na yetu. Kuna place tulikuwa tuna subset kitu. Nzuri nilikuwa interrupted kiasi.
Okay.
Kuna place yangu line 83.
Yako ni line 83.
Kuna place tuna
Yes. Yeah.
Si hapo. Yeah. Enda chini kiasi.
Hapo kwa kusubset.
Yeah, kuna place ya kusubset. Yeah, hapo.
Yes.
Ulikuwa quality. Oh, niko na different code na yako.
Uko na different code? Hapana, hizi nimeanda.
Yeah,
okay, nimekuelewa. Kuna kitu tulichange hapa, si ndio?
Hiyo ndio nilikuwa nataka. Sikuwa na elewa hii kitu hapa.
Sawa. So kuna kitu tulichange hapa. Nilikuwa display values instead of quantity, si ndio?
Ni hiyo tu.
Okay.
Sasa.
Yes.
Hata mimi turudi nyuma kidogo. I finally got the and sign. Yeah? If you can just display my screen.
Okay. You just share with us your screen. Share with us your screen. The 22.
So ideally,
Yes.
After the subset is created, then you create data. Then in the subset you put you before the and you'll have to separate both of them using the what do you call them?
Using
I hope you can see.
Let me check. Oh, yeah. Nimepata.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to show. So
Okay,
that's it.
yeah. So I can demonstrate here. So, okay, let me share it. So it was this on this part here. So we wanted to combine two values. We wanted to combine two values. Remember now from that point, yes, we have subsetted. We have applied the subset here. From there you can apply the subset from the second one. So, and let's delete this one first. Then we can subset values. So that they will be greater than 10. Yes, let's see. Yes, the quantity is greater than 19. So let's see. We have the values. Quantity is greater than 60. And the values are greater than 10. Yes, we have these two. Here. So that is it. This is how you can apply the AND command. This is how you can apply that. So you have to separate. You subset each. Now yes, Kabila.
Like, if you go back to your screen where you are just from.
Yes. I know your question. Come on, Yako. The quantity is not greater than 60.
Unanisikia?
Yes, tunakupata.
Hello.
Yes, we are getting you.
In that code, I thought all the values of the variable value was supposed to be greater than 10.
Which one? For this one here? Or
nimeona.
Sawa. Sawa. I think now we can continue. Ladies in the house, mumetunyamazia sana. We miss your voices. You can tell us anything. Hata tu useme tu ndio niko kwa session. Ladies in the house. Wairimo, where are you? Dorcas. Dorcas. Dorcas,
Yes.
tuko kwa gari moja na nyinyi.
Yeah, I'm following.
You are following, yes? So. Okay, now I was talking of linking R programming language or R Studio with Excel. So we were trying to install a package called Excel. So at this part, you can click Run Direct and install that particular package. Or you can click on Stores, on Tools, then click on Install Packages. Then click on Install Packages. A window will pop out. Then you write the name of what? The name of the package that you want to install. So for our case, we want to install the Rind Excel. So I type Rind X. Even before you finish writing, the package will pop out. So you click on it. So Rind Excel. From there you click on Install. So ukiklik install, uta notice that your machine will be executing something here. Your machine will actually be downloading that particular package. So I want you download that package now. Or unaweza kuja hata hapa kwa packages, sindio? Kwa packages, then you click on install. Ukiclick on install, itakuleta tu hapa, then you write the Rind Excel package. Then you click on install, then the package will install. I think it will take approximately 2 or 3 minutes to install, if I'm not wrong. Then from there, so for me, I will not install it because I have already installed it in my machine. So niwapenda dakika ngapi? I will Mr. Benson, I think 2 minutes is enough. Sit down.
Yes, I'm done.
You are done. Sit down. Very good. Nani mwingine amemaliza? David 2. Okay, David.
Yes, I'm done.
You are done. Ladies, Dorcas. I want to hear from Dorcas. Wangoi. I want to hear from ladies. Msitulete down. Ladies, Scholar. Akina Mary.
I'm done.
You are done. Phoebe. Is it Phoebe or Phoebe? Phoebe. Okay, you are done.
Yes.
Very good. We can now continue. Now, uku download that particular package, we use something we call a library function to call that particular package, or to direct the compiler to use now that package. Are we together? Yes, I have this package in my storage. Now I want to use it. So the operations that I will be performing from there will be using this particular package. So what do you write? You write library, then the name of the package. Remember, everything that you write inside the bracket must be inside the opening and closing. Are they called speech marks or what? Inside this type of marks. So that is it. From so I can click on this file now. I want to call that particular library. So I want to call that particular package. So I type library Rind Excel. Remember, library is a function. That's why it will be displaying in a different color, it will be displaying in a different color. So library read Excel. So import. Now let's run the command. What is happening? When you click and it has executed, from there you can import your files. You can import your files. You can import your files. Or you can copy the file path, then you use the read Excel statement or the function. But now you see these files here, you see this the command here, the command on my machine, that is line 123. If you have any Excel file, you can try to call it. You just click on files. So are we together? You click on files and click on import dataset. Click on import dataset. So you are importing dataset from Excel. Remember, you can import dataset from, for example, SPSS, from SAS, from Stata, from text, from text read. These are the parts here. I don't understand them, but our main interest is to import the particular data from Excel, and the machine will import data only from Excel in XLSX format. XLSX format. You click on from Excel, and this window will pop out here. From there, this is the file URL, this is the data preview. Even before you click on import, you'll have a preview on how your data looks like. These boxes here will be marked by default. If not, you can mark them. We want to import our first row as names. You click on that box. Now from there you click on browse. So are we together? From browse, you can browse any XLSX file. Let's see. Any XLSX file. Yes, this one here, for example, in data XLX. You click on open. And you'll notice that we have a certain code here. We have a code preview. See there, we have a code preview. Are we together? Now you can copy this file. For example, you can copy this part here and execute them, or you just import them direct. So when you click on import, what happens? You can see the data imekuja hapa. So you can see the data is here with us. So that is, the data must be in XLSX format. So yes. So that is it. That how we copy what? We copy. That's how we import files from Excel. That's how we import files from Excel. Okay, nani ameshindwa kuimport before you continue? Nani ameshindwa kuimport? Ama nani ameimport in XLSX format? Patrick, umekuwa abuse accident?
Yes.
Okay. So that is how we do it. So from that point now, you can try to do analysis on that data. And remember, the data is now present in this what? In these are students. Yes, that is it. From there, we will do something on ggplot2, and yes, so ggplot2, you will note that hii kitu yote inakupea hizi vitu zote huku chini zikiwa in this format. So but now to cut the story short, just click here and insert one a single speech marks. If you can just one, and everything will be okay. Now let's check, or let's do something else that we call ggplot2. ggplot2 is just a package that is used to create complex data plots, or the visuals. So now, what is ggplot2 before we continue? For example, ggplot2, how can I call it? Okay, let me explain it in this format. For example, we have a syntax for creating a scatter plot. We have another syntax for drawing a pie chart. We have another syntax for bars. We have another syntax for line graph, for example. We have the syntax for naming these graphs. So are we together? Now, those syntaxes, they have now been compiled together and inserted in a specific package that we call ggplot2 package. Sijui kama mmeelewa. Mmepata? It does not mean we cannot create these visuals using what? Using normal language in R, but this is in ggplot2. All these things have been compressed together in a specific package called ggplot2. Kabila, tumesikizana, tumepatana? Are we together up to that point?
Tunapatana.
Okay, very good. Tunapatana. Now, Aki, make sure you understand the syntax of ggplot2. ggplot2 is a very, very powerful package in this what? In this language. Make sure, please, hata tukikataa kumaliza leo, make sure you understand it. So make sure you understand it. Now, we will be using the inbuilt data sets. We'll be using the inbuilt data sets in this R. So ggplot2 is a plotting package that provides helpful commands to create complex plot from data in a data frame, for example. So it provides more programmatic interfaces for specifying what variable to plot. So how they are displayed, for example, the general visual properties. So therefore, we only need minimal changes if the underlying data change or if we decide to change from a bar plot to a scatter plot. So this helps in creating publications quality plots with minimal amount of adjustment and tweakings. So I understand you don't have the package. Remember, the syntax is simple. So install dot packages ggplot2. So I want you to install two packages. That is the ggplot2 and datasets. So the package for datasets is used to manipulate with datasets or in data frames or whichever data formats is the data in. So I want you click these two, you run one by one in your machines, then we call them and continue, then you call them and from that point we just continue. Okay, this will take just 2 or 1 minute. Are you through?
Not really. I'm getting an error on my end.
Why?
It says unexpected symbol in the run there. Now I'm trying to figure that out.
Nani mwingine anapata shida?
I'm also getting the same error.
Okay, one of you to share with us your screen.
Yangu imefanya.
Yako imefanya. Okay. Mwenye yake iko na shida, you just share with us your screen. Sasa. Let me stop sharing mine. I'm waiting you share with us your screen. Alafu from that tuone tunasaidiana aje. So, mwenye amepata shida, you share with us your screen. Yes, Benson. What is the error message?
It says unexpected symbol in, then
Yes.
quote
Yes,
run
yes,
there.
yes. Okay. I want us, nataka scroll down. Even before you scroll, unaona kwa hiyo line ya number 125. 125, line number 125. Hapo tu usiteremke chini hapo.
Yep.
Hapo mwisho wa hiyo line, I'm waiting for you. Line number
yes,
125. Nataka uweke hiyo single inaitwa aje, hiyo single mark, hiyo sijui ni speech mark ama ni gani. Hiyo ka single one. Kamoja tu. Umeweka? Scroll down sasa. Si unaona vitu zimechange.
Oh yes.
Execute moja sasa. The first one. Something is happening now, si ndio?
Yes, I'm good.
Yeah. Mwenye amepata the other one, I think amesaidika hapa, si ndio? So you insert just one mark pahali hapo juu ili ifanye yoyote isikuwe inaitwa aje, ni command ama nini, isikuwe in string format. So after you execute the one, you execute the other, si ndio? Phoebe, have you executed the command for installing those particular packages, the two packages?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. From there, I think now we can continue. Sindio? Mr. Kabila, we can continue from that point now. Let's continue. Let me share with you my screen. Aki, make sure you understand this package. Utaitumia sana. Sawa. Make sure you understand it. So we are going to use so you can run the other library, the library commands here, run the first one and the second one. Now from that point you have commanded the compiler that we are going to use ggplot2 package that is present in your memory together with the dataset package that is also present in your memory. So we will be using the erase datasets. Yes, Mr. Yes, Kadina.
Umetuambia tu kazi ya ggplot. What are this data set?
Hatukupati vizuri.
The what about the other package? Yeah, that's it.
Pardon? Mr.
Like
Kadina?
nasema umetuambia kazi ya ggplot2. What about the other package?
Okay, the other package. The importance of other package, you will note that some data, for example, some data sets or data frames, they have been arranged in some structure or in format that are not familiar with the way compiler in R understands some data sets. I think I can give you a clear definition of the dataset package. So the aim of this package is to make just the attained data sets easier to release or like change or reuse. Or reuse. I think what we will be doing here will be mostly based on the ggplot2. So penye tutatumia the other package nitawaambia. Nitawaambia. But for now I wanted you to install those two. So pali tutafika kwa the other. Yes, Mr. Delmo. Yes, you can tell.
For me, I'm having trouble installing the second package. I've installed the first one. The second one, I'm having a challenge.
You can share with us your screen?
Yes.
Okay, just do so.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So when I run the second okay, just a minute. When I run the second install the package, this is the error that I get. Error in installing updating loaded packages. Then when I press yes, starting our session, then I get the same error again.
That's it for the second one. I think you will just update it. So nitakuonyesha venye tuna update. But for now let's concentrate more on the syntax for ggplot2. Nitakuonyesha venye.
Okay.
Yeah. Tukianza kutumia, I will just show you how we update.
Okay. So thank you.
I think my screen is visible. So now we will be using the erase dataset. How do we? What are the attributes or the columns in this dataset. When you execute this command here, the iris, just type iris, then run the command. That's an inbuilt data. So ikiwa inbuilt data, you can see the attributes or the column names. What iris dataset contains is that it contains data of different leaves. Those are the people from biology. Those scientists. Now, these leaves, they have been collected. They have different sepal length, wing. We have the petal length, petal wing, and this leaf is from which species? We have 3 species. We have Setosa, Vasilica, and the other one is Vascala. The Setosa species, we have Vascala species, and we have Vanginica species. So those are the species from which these leaves have been collected from. So we have how many leaves? We have data for how many leaves, guys? We have data for 450 leaves. 450 leaves. They have their petal length, petal wing recorded, and sepal length and sepal wing recorded. Now we will be using this data set here to do visuals. So we will just do a simple example, and I will give you more notes on the ggplot2 because I know it's very wide, and from there you will be able to apply the ggplot2 anywhere. So that is how we standard the data first. First of all, you must understand the syntax or the structure of your data. From there we can do the qplot. Remember, the qplot is under which? Is under ggplot2 now. The qplot is under ggplot2 package. It's like as in, I think up to now you understand what a package is. A package you can call package drawing. Under this drawing we have something we call qplot. So we have qplot. I think we are together. Now when you just write qplot, I want you to be very keen here. When you write qplot, there are some syntax that must follow. There are a specific syntax that must follow. Number one, qplots, you have to supplement the qplot with the 2 entries. That is what you want to store on x and y axis. That is, for example, here we have the sepal length, we have the sepal length. From there, you specify the data. You specify what? You specify the data. From which data? Remember, you can have more than 2 data or more than 3 data sets with the same column names. You specify now the name of the data set. So what's the name of my data set where I get my sepal length, that sepal wing? Is the iris data set. Then you run the command. When you run the command, here you will see what we have. We have a scatter plot. We have a scatter plot. So we have a scatter plot of sepal width and sepal length. Remember what we plot is we plot x and y. So the what will be starting exactly after opening your bracket will take the x value. Will take the x value. What will be after the x value is the value of y. So then we have this type of data set. So that is it. Do you have any question up to that point? I show you another way that we can do the same plotting now using a general formula or general way that you can do the same drawing but not using the ggplot2 package. Do you have any question up to that point?
Just a question again.
Yes.
You said you have to specify the data because you have maybe different data sets that are around you.
Yes.
Does it mean that you can plot two you can relate two data sets with this ggplot2?
You can relate
They
two
have the
data
same
sets.
everything. Yes.
Okay. You cannot relate two data sets. For example, you are saying we make a drawing of sepal length from dataset 1 and sepal width from dataset 2. That is not possible because you specify the formula for specifying a specific column, a specific dataset is just one. We don't have another formula for specifying two datasets. So you can either draw from one dataset and move to the second dataset. Are we together up to there?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, okay. Now, suppose I don't know what is an ggplot2 package, and I want to draw this kind of scatter plot. What do I use? I want to hear from you. Oh, I think we haven't done the basic drawing. We use the scatter. We use scatter function in R. So we just use scatter function. Remember, scatter is not in this package. We use just a scatter plot. We produce this scatter plot using the plot function. Just a normal plot function. So when you click on plot, for example, what do I want to plot? I want to plot sepal. No. I want to plot iris. What do I want to plot? I want you use the dollar sign. Now you see the use of dollar sign. You use the sepal length, comma, iris. See there, iris, dollar sign. I use what? My sepal width. See there, I use my sepal width. Then from there you just run your commands. From there you just run your command. Run your commands, unapata something like this. So you get something like this here. Remember, let's see how we can specify this without using the dollar sign. You can specify data is equal to iris. Let's see whether it will work. Yes, I think it will. Sepal length. No, it will not work. The syntax for plot is x and y. I think we don't have this here. Are we together at that point? Are we together? Mr. Kabila, umepata hiyo?
Hiyo nimepata.
Aki usisahau, si ndio?
Sisahau.
Okay. Ladies, I want to see mwenye amepata just as a normal syntax for qplot. Nataka kuona kama mko karibu na sisi. I want to hear from you. Ladies, who has succeeded in applying the qplot? Who has succeeded in doing so? Scholar, have you been able to differentiate between the qplot and the other one? Okay, I think we can continue. So the other one is for plotting the petal length and the petal width. You can run this at your own time. See, look, you can see we have the petal length, petal width, petal length. This is where statistic comes in. What does this data suggest? What the type of correlation is here? What can I conclude from this type of correlation here, from the petal width and the petal length? That's your, that is it. So now that is qplot. That is qplot. Now imagine now we want to do more specification, but they are all in one code. Let's do this. Is remaining here. Changing the shape. We have a lot of things to do here. Tuziendelee sasa tuone kunaendaje. So the qplot, I want to do a qplot on the iris dataset. The iris dataset, I mean. We have the AES function. What does this function do? What does the AES function do? So in R, this function here is used with the graphics packages. Remember, we are on a ggplot2 package. On the graphics package, to specify the desired aesthetics, For example, on the sepal length, I want my aesthetics to have the sepal length and sepal width. So sepal length and sepal width. Now, what is a geom? What am I adding here? Plus geom and point here. What are we adding here? What is the use of geom point? As far as this package is concerned. Yeah, this function here, remember this is a full function here, is used to add a layer of points. to your plot. But now, for this one here, I haven't added anything. For this one here, I haven't added anything. So we will add them as we continue. When you execute this command here, you will see we have the same output. See, when you execute the other one, we have the same output. But now we want to add more using the ggplot point here. Using the geom point here, we want to add some things like, for example, the titles. For example, you can rename the petal line here. We pair the other names. You can change the colors of these plots inside here, and do MBCD so that is it. That's how we do all those things so and kare ya tawira mo se ora mo ya re kan to kan mame to muri to are gi kan now. Let's continue. We want to change some things inside here. Now you can change them using what? Using the geom point in bracket here. You can add a lot of things there and everything will be okay. For example, let's check on this part here. Let's check on this one here. ggplot2 data. I'm plotting erase aesthetics from x. I want x to take the sepal length and y sepal width. So now I've started specifying the type of what? The axis, that's the type of axis, and plus check on this part here. We have geom point. We have geom point here. So we have geom point, and the geom point I have inserted aesthetics of color. I have the color of species. I have the shape. Remember, shapes in R will take values from 1 up to set that or set 100. If I'm not wrong, I'm not very sure of that point. You can start from 1 up to 15, for example. Then we have the size. This is like a magnifying size. We have sizes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, plus GG title. GG title is the title that I want my plot to take. So this title will be displayed here. Then I want to label X. The x-axis here on sepal length. I want to label it sepal length, but with the centimeter. I want to label Y, the sepal width, plus centimeter. Plus, this is a common theme, a function that is used to display common output from the specified graphic measures in ggplot2 package. Let's try to run this command. When you run that command, let's see. Check what is happening here. Yes, just delete the common theme hapa chini ubaki up to this point here. Then you run the command. Then you run the command. You note that under Sepal wind, we have something like, we have the cm, the centimeters. Here we have this one here. So we have the species, Setosa vascala virginica. Where are we getting species from? We are getting species from the aesthetics. Remember, aesthetics is what I want to be displayed inside my graphics. So this is the species. For example, the shapes of drawings here is 15. What happens when you change to 10 and run the command? Change them to 10 and run the command. You will note that the graphics here, the drawings are different. See there? What happens when you change, for example, to 1 and run the command? So this is shape number 1. Shape number 1 in ggplot2 package. So in ggplot2 package, it understands that the shape number 1 is like this one displayed here. So shape number 20, for example, shape number 20, let's see how that shape behaves. This is the shape number 20. Let's change the size from 1.2.6 to, let's say, 3, for example. Change it to 3 and run the commands. Yes, that is it. Change it to size 10 and tell me whether there is any difference. I think you can see what is happening in my screen. In my screen here, they are very large. See there? They are very large. If we change to 7, what happens? This is font number 7. See there? If we change it to 1, what happens? So that is, this is 1. See there? This is the size. So I think we can end it there, and from that point, Mr. Kabila, or Benson. Yes?
Benita.
Oh yes. So nataka tuangalie hivi.
Yeah.
You be my class representative for the remaining days. So you will go and go through the course from number 187. Sababu niliwaambia hata tukisoma this art for the 6 months hatutamaliza. So you go through the course mpaka mwisho. Then tomorrow, before we start on what we will be doing tomorrow, tutaenda through at least ukuwa unajua pale umepanga kuuliza swali. Sawa? Are we together?
Yeah.
Ili tuelewe vizuri, si ndio? Sababu nikiwapitisha hivi unaweza kusema sikuelewa hapa. So hizi kodi za leo zilikuwa mingi sana. So better tuende pole at least after the program ukuwe na content. Si ni kweli? Yeah. So you go through the course from number 187 mpaka huko mwisho. Alafu sasa tuone venye kutaka. Kama utakuwa na maswali, tuulizane hizo maswali kesho. Sababu the ggplot2 the syntax ni tu the same, but sasa kuna vitu zimeandiandiwa hapa ndani. Kama tumetumia kama for example data ingine hivyo. So but the syntax is the same. For example, ggplot2 hapa, the final one on 327 hapa, ggplot2 ttc. So I expect this ttc is on data sets, aesthetics. What do I want to to include in my plots? I want to include this x, y, fail, survived, these things here. So you go through from number 187 mpaka hapo mwisho, then from